The best new construction home that you can buy in Atlanta right now is one that somebody bought 3 years ago. Hear me out on this. I've been selling real estate in Atlanta for years, and this is one of those conversations I find myself having more and more with buyers who are trying to decide between a new construction home or one that's maybe just a few years old. And I get it. The new construction pitch is genuinely appealing. Brand new everything. Nobody else has lived in it, and sometimes you get to pick the finishes. You get the warranty. It feels like the safe, more attractive choice. But there are some things I want you to know before you make that decision. Let me tell you about a couple right here in Atlanta who hired what they were told was the best architect, the best builder, that had the best subcontractors money could buy. They were promised a dream home. What they got was a home that was soggy, crooked, and rotting. And get this, the furnace was rigged in a way that could have fed carbon monoxide directly into their bedroom. The repair bill came in at nearly $1 million. Could you even imagine? That is an extreme case, and most new construction is not going to go anywhere near that direction. But it does illustrate something worth understanding. New does not automatically mean safe, and it doesn't always mean the best value for your money. So let me walk you through what I've seen and what I'd want my own friends and family to think about before they choose new construction over a resale home that's just a few years old. First, we need to talk about the growing pains nobody really talks about. Every new construction home goes through a breaking in period. And I say that not to scare you, it's just the reality of how new homes behave in those first 1 to 3 years. New homes move and settle. They just do. And this can show up as cracks in drywall, doors that maybe stick a little bit, floors that feel slightly uneven, small gaps around windows and trim. And a lot of it's cosmetic and easy to address. But sometimes some of it needs a closer look. The point is, it happens, and it happens on your watch as the new owner. But beyond the settling, there are things that just don't show up right away. An HVAC system that wasn't quite balanced right during installation, grading around the foundation that directs water maybe a little too close to the house, or God forbid, goes down into the basement or the crawl space, roof flashing that looks fine until the first real storm. These are not the things that you can see during a walkthrough on a sunny afternoon. They reveal themselves over time. And I know what you're thinking, well, I'll likely have a warranty with new construction, and your warranties are there for a reason. But it is worth reading carefully before you close, because I will tell you from experience, not all warranties coming from the builders are created equal. Structural coverage, I will tell you, tends to have a longer shelf life, but workmanship, systems, and appliances can have much shorter coverage windows. And knowing what is and what's not covered before something goes wrong is a lot better than finding out after something goes wrong. One thing that might surprise a lot of you is bigger national builders does not always mean better. Smaller local builders often care deeply about their reputation because, frankly, they live and work in your community. Their next project depends on how the last one turned out. They tend to use quality materials, and they stay hands-on throughout the build. The large national builders are operating at volume. And listen, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but quality can vary greatly depending on the team, the site supervisor, and just the overall timeline pressures they're under. It's worth doing your research before you hire any builder either way. All right, let's talk about the upgrade conversation. This is the part I really want you to think about because it catches a lot of buyers off guard when it comes time to sell the new construction house. Here's how it usually goes. You find a new construction home, you absolutely love it, the base price works, and then you sit down with the builder, the designer, or even at a design center in some communities, and you start making decisions. You opt in for the better countertops, the upgraded appliances, the hardwood floors, an outdoor kitchen, a built-in sound system, better tile, plantation shutters. The list goes on and on and on. Each individual choice feels totally reasonable. And by the time you're done, you've added on an extra $80,000 or $100,000 or more on top of the base price. And maybe after you bought it, you even decided to finish out the basement. Or you do a secondary upgrade like you add a pool. But here's the thing. Most of that money does not come back to you when you sell it. Real estate gets valued on comparable home sales, what similar homes nearby have actually sold for. And those comps are based on market prices, not what you spent after the fact. So the outdoor kitchen, the updated top tier appliances, the upgraded everything, it adds value, but it's just not dollar for dollar, not even close. You usually will get back only a very small fraction of what you spent. The buyer who comes in after is in the best position. Think about what someone buying a 3 to 5-year-old home in a newer community is actually getting. The settling has likely already happened. The early warranty issues have likely been identified and fixed. The things that were going to fail very early on have failed and have been taken care of most of the time. And then all of those upgrades that the original owner put in, guess what? They're right there. The outdoor kitchen, the hardwood floors, the upgraded kitchen, the sound system, the finished basement, all of it visible, all of it move-in ready. And the price is going to reflect what the comparable home sales in the neighborhood have sold for, not what any individual owner put into it. The buyer walking into that is in a great situation. Less risk, more value, and none of the growing pains. The original owner did all the hard work, and the resale buyer gets the benefit. Now, I'm not saying that to make new construction sound like a bad idea. I'm saying it because understanding this dynamic can actually help you make a smarter decision going into it, whether that's buying new with realistic expectations or looking seriously at a resale home that checks the same boxes for less of the uncertainty. So here's what you look for in a resale home. If you're open to it, here's what I'd encourage you to look for. Find something that's maybe 3 to 7 years old in a community that you like. Look for a home where the original owner clearly put money into it. They upgraded the finishes, maybe they put in an outdoor living area, better appliances. You can see exactly what you're getting, and there's no design center guesswork and no waiting to find out how the house will settle. You also get something really valuable with a home that has a little history. A home inspection that actually tells you something. On a brand new home, nothing has had time to fail yet. On a home that is few years old, an inspector can give you a much more complete picture of how the house is actually performing. And the community itself tends to be more finished. Landscaping is established, common areas are done, like the pools are finished and ready for the summer. Neighbors have been there long enough to tell you what it's actually like to live there. With new construction, you are sometimes moving into a community that is still under construction around you, which is fine, but it's just a different experience than what the model home suggested. And here's the financial reality. When you buy a new construction, part of what you're paying for is the newness itself. And the moment you close, the newness is gone. It's the same way that when you go to buy a brand new car, the minute you drive it off the lot, it's a used car. Your home is now a used home. You are now competing with the brand new homes that the builder is still building and selling down the street, and sometimes at the same price or even lower, because sometimes the builders will discount remaining inventory to close out a community. When you buy a well-maintained resale home with upgrades already in place, you're getting market value for a product that in a lot of ways is better than what the new construction buyer got on closing day. The risk has been absorbed, the work has been done, and you're not competing with a builder's sales office down the road offering closing cost credits and rate buydowns to win buyers away from you. New construction can absolutely be the right call. And there are great builders doing great work here in Atlanta, and sometimes being first in a home matters to people. And that's completely valid reason to buy new. Just go in knowing what you're getting and what you're trading off, because the more informed you are going in, the better the outcome tends to be on the other side. And real quick, I help homebuyers and sellers in Atlanta. If you want an agent who is going to tell you the truth and actually protect you through the process, text or call me. The number is on the screen. Yes, that is my cell phone number. And if you haven't seen my video on the biggest mistake homebuyers make in Atlanta, that one is worth your time before you make any moves. Link is on the screen right now. I'll see you over there.